Andrew, Brian Kenny here. Thanks for joining us today, and congratulations on all the success this year.
Thanks a lot, BK, and thanks for having me on.
Now, I wanted to get that out because this is why, like the last 4 years, you have one of the greatest winning percentages of all time. 111 wins, 106, on pace for 113, 106 wins. You've built a machine, but I know there had to be some, obviously, disappointment and then some defensiveness afterwards where people said, how come you didn't win again? What do we learn in this postseason with the new rules and the changes?
It's a good question. Obviously it was crushing to everyone. So many people pour so much into it, and obviously we had way higher expectations, and for that we came up short. And I think the hardest thing for us is we're all emotional as well and have those emotional reactions, and it's how to take what happened and try to learn how to get better, but not overreact in an emotional way. So it's what levers can we pull to improve things on the margins? Those conversations have been had, they'll continue to be had, and for us it's about doing everything we can to put ourselves in a position to go out and win a championship. And we feel really good about the team we have right now, but we have a lot of work to do this winter as well.
For playoff baseball, since this is going to be about tournament baseball, right, moving forward, and you guys are going to be in the tournament at the very least, what did we learn about level of randomness? What's random, what's not? What can you control, at least to best control going into the playoff tournament?
Yeah, I mean, I think, a good example is, you go to that seventh inning of our Padres game in Game 4, and Profar with the leadoff walk, Grisham hits a ball to center that 3 innings earlier, Trace Thompson makes a catch that has a 6% catch probability. In that 7th inning, it was 62%. Those things happen. It happened. Next hitter, Nola, kind of blocks a high changeup to Freddie that had, I think, a 72% out probability, hits off his glove. It's one of those things that on a high changeup as a first baseman, you don't expect someone to block it your way. So those things, the sequencing of it, the fact that they happened back to back, and then the Kim ball down the line, those things are what contribute to, some of the randomness in that the sequencing could be different. One of those things could happen in the 5th inning, one in the 7th. So obviously there's a lot to that, but I think it's still about talented players and putting them in the best positions to perform well. But that doesn't guarantee anything. I mean, we've talked about this a lot. The best team doesn't always win the World Series. Now, that is obviously our ultimate goal, and we're going to do everything we can. This year was hard to pick ourselves back up and dust ourselves off, but we have a lot of work to do, and we are re-energized and reinvigorated to do whatever we can to figure it out and win those 11 games next postseason.
Sounds like you dissected that 5-run inning pretty thoroughly, too. So you go.
Yeah, I could have kept going. I could have kept going with the Kim, but I decided to spare the audience.
Good. No, it's agonizing. I don't want to put you through all that. But you do have a thing for getting 126 inning starters with great run prevention. Is that the way of the future?
I guess a lot of it comes down to what your personnel is in that moment, payroll allocation, kind of distribution of talent. I don't think we have a hard and fast way of doing anything. It is more a function of what the strengths are of our personnel, how we can augment around, and what that looks like. And I think it can vary year to year.
All right, fair enough. On the free agent market, we're just talking about the blockbuster shortstop class. Have you had contact, or what has happened so far between you and Trey Turner?
Yeah, I mean, you look at last year, there was a great free agent shortstop class this year as well. Trey, obviously, in the year and 2 months we had him, really ingratiated himself within our clubhouse, within our fan base, was a huge part of the success we had this year. He's really fun to watch play the game. But, he's put himself in this position to go out and see what's best for him and his family. And, obviously it's early on in the off season, and we'll continue to have those conversations. both with him and others, and just kind of evaluating our roster as a whole. But obviously, it's early.
Okay. Have you made an offer? And forgive my ignorance. If I think you're allowed to, right, with your own guy, or tell me not. Has there been an offer?
I am not.
Okay.
I am not allowed.
You're not allowed
because of him being a free agent. I am not.
Once he's out and declared, you can. Okay. But did you attempt to before when he was your guy?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think it's obvious that as we look out, it would be ideal if I could click my fingers and Trey Turner was, a key vital member of our team. But, he has put himself in this great position, and he's going to go out and figure out what makes the most sense for his family. So we will continue to have conversations, and we also have to be prepared along a lot of different lines depending on how things play out.
Okay. Clayton Kershaw, thoughts on Clayton given the longevity and the season he just had?
It's a top priority for us. What Kersh has meant to this organization, what he's meant to the city of Los Angeles, goes without saying. And so, it's similar to last year in that he and Ellen and their family are going to figure out what makes sense, but I'm hopeful that that continues with him in Dodger Blue. In February, we see him in Glendale.
One last thing. Cody Bellinger. What do you think the future is for Cody Bellinger and the Dodgers?
It's a great question. I think, having backstage kind of pass to watching him, I still very much believe in the true talent, the ability, and have watched how hard he has worked and how much he cares. Obviously, last year was disappointing. He'd be the first to say that, and that there's a lot more in there. And so now it's incumbent upon him, us, everyone to figure out how to do that. And from a talent and work ethic standpoint, there's no reason why he shouldn't be able to.
All right. Andrew, I asked Alex Anthopoulos after the Braves chased down the Mets and won the division. I said, how was it for you? And he said it was agonizing, it was painful. And I was thinking, you won. You won. So you just won 111 games. Is it fun ever?
That's a good question. I don't know if fun is the right word.
Satisfying?
Fun is winning playoff series. And, I just think by nature we're so focused on what's next that it's a little bit of a curse and that we're not able to appreciate anything that has happened. So it is very much like, what's next? What do we have to be concerned about? What's on the docket? What's worrying us? And that tends to be where our brains gravitate.
All right, I understand. You guys look so beat up, but hey, you're in Vegas. You won 111 games. Congratulations on the season, Andrew. No, you guys are the standard, and I hope you get to enjoy it sometime. We'll do it again. Thank you.
Thanks, BK. Thanks for having me on.